At Bingara, we control the entire historic Bingara goldfield. So, 20 to 30 kilometre strike extension of the Bingara goldfield. Within that, there is one prospect, and only one prospect, that's had any real modern exploration. So the Spring Creek target has actually been drilled back in the 1980s. We're talking almost 40 years ago when that was drilled. But some sensational results came out of that. Sort of 6 metres at 6.5 grams almost from surface. 8 metres at 3 grams, similarly from very near to surface. So really compelling targets. A great opportunity for us to go in there and drill test those. So that's an area we're going to be drilling in the current quarter, and that's one we're really excited about getting in on the ground and doing that work. So then they've got an extension beyond that. So along that whole strike of the Bingara goldfield, there's fantastic opportunities that haven't been properly evaluated historically. At Bingara, we've got this copper trend which is parallel to our gold trend. So it's about 20 kilometres where we've got some historic VMS deposits that were mined in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So again, fantastic sort of rediscovery opportunity for us. Hasn't been drilled, hasn't had any real modern exploration on it. We've focused in on the Mona Mt Everest trend, so 4 kilometres of that 20 kilometres. We've done some work on that. We've flown the LiDAR. We've got some the SAM survey, so the detailed magnetics. So that 4 kilometres area is really being, I guess really focusing on our targeting. So we've done some rock chip sampling more recently in there. Spectacular numbers from that. So we've got over 24% copper from some supergene mineralisation. Really importantly for us, we got about 8%, up to 8% from sulphide mineralisation coming from the Mt Everest target. Put in context, the old timers back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, they couldn't process any of the sulphide material. So they mined the high-grade supergene, and they actually had a smelter on site where they processed that. As soon as they got to the sulphides, that's where they stopped. So we've now got evidence of that sulphide mineralisation with really good grade, and that's the opportunity for us to pursue at the Mona and Mt Everest area. Drilling is priority number one, so we're really focused at moving in and getting the drilling done at Spring Creek. So that's in the current quarter, and we'll be on to that. The Mt Everest Mona trend, Mona, as far as we can tell, has never had any historic rock chip sampling or surface sampling or mapping. So Mt Everest has had some work on it. Mona trend hasn't had that work done on it. So we want to get in there and do some very detailed geology and sampling across all that, and then looking potentially at a full geochemical soil sampling program over that 4 kilometre trend. We're looking for cypress-style mineralisation here, so we're looking for modest tonnage, really good grade, good copper, most likely some gold with that as well, some silver. So they're the sort of systems we're looking at, and we're really going to be targeting on those. And then stepping out from that, we've got the rest of the LiDAR across all of the Bingara project that we're still processing through that. We're still interpreting. We're looking at the extensions of the goldfield, looking at other target areas. So we'll be doing more on-field work, on-ground work to actually look at proving those up and getting them drill ready.